I got my new thing imported. I got the Christian Dior. They wanna look at the foreign. They couldn't even afford it. Look what I did with the bag. Look what I did with the bag. I got a thing in the back, and I ain't taking no chat. I got my new thing imported. I got the Christian Dior. They wanna look at the foreign. They couldn't even afford.
Follow us on Instagram at Express Truth Show.
Welcome back, people. It's the Express Truth Show, making Thursdays great again. Before we do anything today, I want to say a big, massive shout out to the Spotify crew, Patreon crew, iTunes crew, Mixcloud crew, and the website crew, TikTok crew as well. With that being said, do not forget to check out our website, www.expresstruthshow.com. Now, you can already see, man, things are looking different today. You never seen Stephen on this side of the fence.
I'm not used to this side of the world, you know.
But you know, I don't even have to introduce you, Stephen. What you saying, man?
Express Truth back up in the building, making Thursdays great again, never late again. Changing the world, man, one Thursday at a time. I forgot the Facebook and the Snapchat crew, you know, but I'll let you off. Still.
Shout out both of them, man. So, all right, people, listen. Everyone's been waiting for this show.
You say you're going to kick up like
Everyone's been waiting for this show, yeah?
Go on, man.
We needed women on this show. See what I'm saying? Like, two black men. It's like a group of Christians discussing Islam. It don't make sense, you know what I mean? As far as if we're going to get into the real debate, because we ain't actually lived it the way the women have. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, we're going to go in today. So, we're collabing with another podcast today. I want to introduce the ladies first before we start talking about the topic. So, I want to introduce the ladies. So, I want to introduce the lovely Grapevine podcast.
Hiya.
How you doing, man?
We're good, you know, we're good.
So before we start, just introduce yourselves, man. So it's the Grapevine podcast.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the podcast.
So I'm Shell. I nearly said Soph again, you know. I'm Shell. And that's Soph.
And I'm Soph.
Okay.
We've been podcasting since towards the end of lockdown.
Yeah.
We started towards the end of 2020. We felt like we needed to start something. And it was basically just a way of us filling some time.
Definitely.
In a positive way.
Yep.
And
getting over our own stuff, innit?
Getting over our own stuff, things that we'd been going through.
Yeah.
A way to vent, a way to talk about topics. Just like how we'd sit on the phone and talk to each other. I thought, you know what? Everyone's podcasting. Yeah, let's do it.
Real talk.
It was therapy, man. It was needed, wasn't it?
It really was.
So before we even go into the show, so was you watching this from them times or nah? Did you wait till you got in the game?
Till we got in the game.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
All right.
I felt like when we started, we'd touched on a few different podcasts, hadn't we?
But it was more London-based ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those were the big ones at the time.
Okay.
So I feel like that's where it kind of like, there weren't many females doing it in Birmingham.
No.
And it's like, you know what, let's just give it a
when we
go.
started, we didn't know of any, did we?
No, there probably was some out there, but it just depends. Not everyone taps into everyone
That's
around them. So when we started, we was like, okay, let's just give it a go and see if it does anything. And it just seems
well done. It's always nice to see
Congratulations, man.
sisters involved in the craft, in the art. So all right, ladies, you got a difficult job today, you know. This is easy for me and Stephen still. You got a difficult job because you're representing the ladies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you can do that though.
let's just go straight into it, yeah? Kevin Samuels. See what I'm saying? So Kevin Samuels is a controversial YouTuber who was running like a phone-in type thing where like ladies would phone in and talk about relationships and all that.
Yeah.
And sadly, that man passed away last week. And when he passed away, Twitter was on fire. And myself, was very disappointed in the fact that there were women, black women, celebrating, some, not all, celebrating this man's death. And I thought to myself, you know, when somebody dies, it's not always, see what I mean? He weren't out there murdering no one, raping no one, none of that. See what I mean? And
he didn't deserve to be slaughtered like that online.
I believe.
What you're saying.
I believe. So, Kevin Samuels, he's raw, man. And me, as a black man, I did take in a lot of his shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did think he was very good. He was refreshing. We put up a tweet where we referred to him as a legend.
Yes, I did see that actually.
I'm standing by that comment, and I'd say this, that in the black community, specifically the Caribbean community,
Yeah.
a lot of women are single. Let's be honest. So I want us to get into all the uncomfortable talk today.
Yeah.
So a lot of women are single, black women, yeah?
Yeah.
And Kevin Samuels, what he did is he brought up an uncomfortable conversation where he said, why are you single? Like, is it because of this? Is it because of that? I myself had some hate mail for calling him a legend. And I said, how can you be upset that I'm referring to this man as a legend? I'm not saying I agree with everything he said.
No.
I'm not saying, well, I don't agree with the way he presented it. However, he brought a conversation that was much needed to the forefront.
But I think that's the problem, is it's the uncomfortable conversation
It is.
that people don't really want to have.
Of course. Now, of course, I'm not trying to be personal, but because you guys are representing black women on this platform today, I want to ask both of you, before we even go into the convo, they know about Stephen already. Are you guys in a relationship currently?
So I'm not. I'm single.
I need to know this. I need to know, ladies. This is express truth.
Yeah.
I need to know.
No, I'm not in a relationship currently.
All right, so you're both single, yeah?
Yes, we're both
All right,
single.
so that starts it off, innit, Stephen?
Yeah,
That
background.
starts it off. That starts it off. So, first of all, why you saying, go in, Stephen, talk to me.
Huh?
Don't warm it up, man, warm it up.
What do you want to say?
Why you saying Kevin Samuel,
Alright,
Stephen?
Where you
Go
want
on.
to start with? I'm just letting you build. I'm just letting you
We're
bubble.
building the picture, man.
I was just letting you a bubble.
It's gonna
like,
warm in.
letting you a bubble like soup. You get me?
Yeah.
So what are we saying about Kevin Samuels, the man, myth, the legend?
The man, the myth, the legend. So what do you personally think before we bring the ladies in?
You know what? I'll keep it real. You know, I don't really have an issue with everything he said because he used to express a lot of truth, innit? But a lot
No
of the time,
pun intended at all there,
yeah.
Stephen.
Oh, I didn't realize. You know, I
Okay.
didn't realize because I can't see what I'm seeing. But nah, man. But to say the truth hurts, innit? Because I've said personally, I like to think that I'm someone who's honest to a fault. Yeah, and some people might think that's rude. I don't mean, and when I say that, I mean in terms of, I'm gonna tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, man. And some people don't like that, innit? Like, I just feel like life's too short to pet and powder. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but you gotta be brutal sometimes, man. But my whole thing with Kevin Samuels, and this is why I'm glad we've got you two ladies on so we can get a female perspective, is I was unsure of some of the backlash in regards to, okay, you don't like what he says, but you don't have to watch him and you don't have to call in. If I hate something, there's something online, oh gosh, so-and-so's podcast from down the road, I can't stand them. I'm not gonna watch
You
it.
just don't watch it. You don't.
Why would I watch it? Upset myself, write comments. My man's like, yeah, you know, blood, he's always talking nonsense online.
Because so many men use Kevin as this. They say it all the time. I watch Kevin. I watch Kevin. Like I've been watching Kevin. Like Kevin's like a martyr to them, innit? And I think it riles women up from that point of view when you're sitting there, you're talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, but I watch Kevin and this is that. And they're taking his word as Bible, innit?
Yeah.
So women know that it's important to men when they actually bring his name up and it's somebody who they watch it, they know it's important. So the things that he says about us, it doesn't resonate very
All right, so
well.
we're just gonna go in now, right?
Okay.
We've done the pleasantries and that now. All right, so Grapevine podcast.
Warm up the
What do
streets,
you
man.
think about Kevin Samuels yourself? Rest in peace to the brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about the conversation that he was bringing to the forefront?
The conversation's needed, but he's feisty in the way he brings it forward. Like it's the way he talks to the women. He talks to the women like they are all the same.
Yes.
Like every woman is generically the same type of woman. If you're a certain age bracket and you're black and you're
you're
this and you're
single,
working
then-
and you've worked all your life and you're single and you've got no
Then there
kids,
must be this wrong
this
with
is
you.
what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And he just diagnoses everybody
It's
with the
a
same
label
problem.
he puts on, isn't it?
Yeah, it
So
definitely
if
is a
you're-
label.
If you're like, say he looked at somebody our age group
Yeah.
in our predicament of being single, got children
Yeah.
from previous relationships,
He would have had a label for
Yeah,
us.
he would have had a label for us, and it wouldn't be a nice one
Already-
either. It'd be, so what did you do wrong? You know what I mean? And it would be all of that. It was like, oh, you can't keep a man.
But it
Oh,
is all
you know.
negatives. It's a load of negatives that come with that narrative,
Yeah.
which is kind of like, okay, but there were things that are positive about me as a black woman as well.
Everybody's got their preference. like Michelle said, some men like slim women, some men like
thick
women with a little bit of meat, you know, and they prefer that. So really, he shouldn't be judging, like Michelle said, everybody the same way and expect everyone to be the same, look the same. Another thing he did was just talk about money as well. Like, oh, what do you do for a living? He asked nearly every woman. What
makes you think you deserve a high value?
Right, you see.
Right, we're warming up now.
Beautiful transition.
Go on, Stephen.
Then. Beautiful transition, because I was gonna bring up the high value man thing. Before we continue, you two strong, independent black women. Let me just ask you, what is your definition of a high value man? If I had to ask you, which I am, before we kick it off like again.
High value man.
To me, it's not the monetary thing, though.
There you go. And we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
Just in, I think it was even last week.
Yeah, we have. We speak about it every week.
But it wasn't even necessarily in regards to Kevin Samuels. We were just chit-chatting as friends.
Yeah.
And we were talking about situations that friends have been in, or, you know, things that we've heard from different people. And we were just having a chit-chat like that. But a high-value man, I feel personally that it's somebody, it's about what's on the inside.
Definitely.
If a man has got ambition, then for me, that's very, very important. I'd definitely say that's a valuable trait. Ambition. It's not necessarily about money, because I've been with people with no job. That to me it's you know, as long as they've got ambition and they've got some.
Don't worry about that.
That's just Casper, man. I mean,
okay.
No, I joke.
Right. So yeah, it's more for me. It's about having ambition and not being lazy, working towards something. Also, what else I find valuable? It's about the personality, how they make me feel, how they treat me. A respect thing. Do they have respect for? If I can see them respecting their family members, looking after their children. Do they respect me, my family? It's those things that are important to me that makes a man valuable.
But it's different. It's different for us because we've been through life. So we are at an age bracket where a high value man to us in our 20s probably would have meant something completely different. And it probably would have had more to do with money and those things.
I'm going to get into all that as well.
But as we've grown, obviously, it's what they bring to the table, and it's the characteristics that they behold in it, because essentially that's what's going to get you through life. The money comes, the money goes.
Bible facts.
And if you're working together, the money will be there anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's not the monetary value, but I felt like when he was talking about it, it was more about a high value man, because he's talking about, you know, what would you do? Like, do you think you deserve a basketball player? Somebody who's in sports, somebody who's, you know, earning that top dollar. Like, he was always talking about what makes you think you deserve that type of man. And the women are sitting there going, yeah, I deserve that type of man. I deserve that type of man. Like, it's like, that's all there is to a man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But they're not, they're forgetting as well, though, that, we're forgetting.
Talking
as well
to the mic. Move your mic. Yeah.
We're forgetting as well, though, that like Kevin Samuels, he was speaking to American women. So women in the States are completely different to you.
All right, I was just about to touch on
right.
that.
Of course,
So they're completely different to us in the sense that they are a bit more bougie. They kind of feel like they feel like they're owed something.
Yeah.
Even if they don't do nothing.
Yeah.
They feel like the whole world owes them everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like women from the UK are like that. If he was to come over here, if he was to have come over here and done the same thing, I feel like he would have got a little bit of a different set of feedback.
His narrative would have to change slightly. He couldn't have had those conversations with British women.
Before you do that, so because we're going to start getting into some uncomfortable conversation, yeah? So I just want to ask, what was your opinion on the fact that women celebrated this man's death?
I didn't think that was right. I don't think.
Can you just elaborate on that? Because I want to just get that out the way before we go in, because really, Kevin Samuels brought an uncomfortable conversation to all black women. Yeah,
but it's a conversation
that's needed, and we're gonna try and have it here today. But when you seen girls celebrating this man's death, what was your thoughts? What did you think based on what you've seen of him? What did you think?
I thought it was disgusting because of the fact that the man was just out there talking, and he was doing a job. It was what he thought was providing a service. He was upsetting people doing it, but you know, it's not like you said earlier, it's not like he was out there killing people, or it's not. He was famous for speaking online.
Yeah.
He wasn't famous for, you know, being a murderer or being a thief or anything like that. So really, celebrations, no, not necessary.
Yeah.
And he's speaking his truth, and it's what he
just
believes
what he
in.
sees. Everybody's
And
got different opinions and
Every
perspectives.
human has the right to do that. Everyone has
There you
the right
go.
to like express themselves in their own way. That's the way he chooses to express himself. And it's not all being negative, because I've seen things where he's done stuff and he's had like, I think he had like a Facebook group, and like he invited people into the group. So people have met and got married through that and stuff like that. It's things that he's done that he obviously saw or it did work. Do you know what I mean? There's certain things that he's done that have worked.
I heard that actually, that he's had some success stories, but that's not publicised.
As much as the negativity.
As much as the negativity
Do you know
that
what I mean?
that comes back from his
it's not as
shows.
And he
not as
mentored a lot of people as well on how to do what he was doing.
Married
Ladies,
married
this
to
is where I
counselling and
want to kind of get to this part of the conversation.
Mm,
When it comes to black women in our community,
yeah.
So if I think about family members, friends,
Yeah.
associates, most of them are single. I would say probably 90%.
Yeah.
If I know 10 black women, 9 are single.
Okay.
That's the truth. And what I see is this, because we're going to warm up in here tonight. I see a lot of women who ignore certain type of men in their teens, in their
True.
20s,
True.
in their 30s.
And then think, oh my god.
And by the early 40s, when the belly's baggy and, you get what I'm saying? The titty them baggy and all of that now.
Yeah.
Now they want the man they should have been looking for in their teens.
Yeah.
So the reason I rated Kevin Samuels, because he brought the conversation to the forefront. There are too many people. Me going outside now and saying I want to pull in some top IG model or so. I mean, it's not far-fetched though, really, but in terms of if I go out there and say, yo, I want to pull this top IG modeling, or I want to pull, I don't even know, who were the famous black women? Naomi Campbell.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen.
Nah.
Because I can't keep her.
Depends how heavy your pockets
Do
are.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't keep her, but not even just money, status. So I could win the lottery. She might chat to me, but
Yeah,
she
but
ain't
you
gonna.
ain't nobody.
I ain't gonna be her man. You get what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
haven't got them like what she's into. I ain't got that. So what I think Kevin Samuels was saying is a lot of women are running around expecting this, that, and the third, and they ain't bring. What are they bringing?
What are
To
they
if you're not bringing a certain mirror image of what that man is, so if your bank account don't match him, what are you bringing? Because let's be honest, when these guys start signing for the Premier League and stuff, they want the glammed up girls, the top glammed up girls. I know that that's not what I'm gonna. When I say, not to say, don't get me wrong, because even you two guys are very glamorous, but I mean in terms of
Are we?
society's. No, I mean in terms of society's
Yeah.
eyes, like
Okay.
society's vision, society's what's the word, Stephen? Society's
Vision of beauty.
view on beauty.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like when girls go to these clubs and they'll say
Yeah.
like, yo, if they'll say to bouncers, if it ain't a 10, she can't come in. There could be girls that they're turning away that a normal man like me and Steven would say she's a 10. But a baller who's making 100 bags a week, she's not a 10 to him.
The world view is.
See what I'm saying?
So
But I'd like to know what is a 10, because that's another thing Kevin Samuels did, is rate women
Yeah.
by numbers. And, you know, the women would get offended if he said, oh, this girl's a 6.
Well, it's
or a
based on his own
7.
opinion,
That's
isn't it?
his own opinion.
It's,
So
that's
what,
his- that, go on.
what
That's
would he call a 10? Then what
probably
was-
an IG model. But you know the whole thing with the whole rating, and most people can't be honest with themselves anyway. And this isn't just for women; it's just most people in general.
Yeah.
Most people feel like it's a problem to be average nowadays. In terms of like, when I say I don't even like that word average. But when I say average, I just mean just a normal
Just
looking
normal.
person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
a Joe Bloggs, a normal. Like everyone feels like that there's something wrong with that. Because I feel like a lot of the women that are being put on pedestals and being rated and everything, like even with Kevin, it would have just been about the body, man. Like nowadays, so when he's saying, "Oh, what do you bring to the table?" I understand where he's coming from, but I feel like he's, especially if we're keeping it to stateside, he's just talking about from a physical standpoint, because
Yeah.
these men who are balling out of control, and you see them with these quote unquote bad bees on their arm.
Yeah.
You think my man cares if she knows 2 + 2 = 4?
Yeah, it's just a look, innit?
No, it is just a look.
It's just
It
a look.
shouldn't be about
It is
the
a
look,
look.
though. It is, but it shouldn't be.
Now, a 10, what I would say is a 10, ladies. I would say my version of a 10 is not society's version of a 10.
Okay.
My version of a 10, like, if I'm cooking, if you're making a meal, there's numerous ingredients that go into that meal. So if I'm looking at a sister, she has to be level with all the ingredients. It can't just be,
Facts.
you got the seasoning, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't, you have
It's
to
gotta
have,
be more layers
it has
to
to be
it.
more layers. For me, but society's vision of a 10 is like stiff breasts that don't go nowhere when the bra comes off.
But that's
Yes.
not every man.
No,
There's a lot of
no,
men
no,
that.
I'm saying
I
society.
know.
Yeah,
If you
I
go on
know.
IG now,
Yeah.
the top
That's what I'm
girls,
saying.
like, let's
That's
be
what's
honest,
getting all the likes.
yes,
is
flawless
what you
skin,
mean.
flawless skin.
But it's
Yeah.
generally
But
just
all
like
of that is then only because of what they see. It's not because of what's in here, and
Oh, no,
they
but
don't know
that's-
that.
but man
They
with
don't know
money-
what that girl's really like. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but man with money,
We'll
I think
go for
when
that.
man have got money, they
Yeah.
don't really. A man don't really want to hear too much come talking like that when a
No.
man's got paid.
No, I hear that.
A
That's
man's
true.
got though. He just wants
It's
something
true.
that like so like a lot of black men are women now. You know they can.
We got too much mouth. Is that what you're trying
No,
to say?
no. We're gonna get into that as well. But a lot of our women, like, when you meet her, she's like, she's done herself up, rare. But once she gets comfortable with you,
She starts to.
she
let
starts.
go.
To, you kind of like she has them days in it where you know that. So it goes from she wears a little nightie around the yard till it's a big old pajama set. It goes from her hair's always did to.
Are you taking it as
You know
a,
what I mean?
Are you
Like-
taking, hold on, but
You know
The
what I'm saying?
bodies.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Not to say that to me that ain't a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that that's the way.
But that shows growth in a relationship.
Yeah,
That
it
shows
does.
that-
It
That
does.
shows
It
that
does.
someone's comfortable with you, innit?
Yeah.
You can be that
Certain ballers,
comfortable.
they don't want to see that.
But I've heard stories. Yeah, that's true. I've
Yeah.
heard stories where women are like, usually your European ones. She's like, oh, I think it was one of them reality show documentaries a couple of years back. She was like, oh, I get up at 6 a.m. every day. They say, what you doing for? You're baking bread? Nah. I used to do my makeup before my man gets up. He's never seen me without makeup.
Gosh.
Some people are living
That's
them.
unhealthy.
Some
Yeah.
people are
I've
living
heard
them
of
Mission
people
Impossible
doing
there, you know.
Couldn't do it.
But I ask myself this, and I ask myself this because as a man with a black daughter, a lot of black sisters,
Yeah.
and black women are very important to me.
Facts.
That's why we kind of what is going on? Why are so many of them single? Why? What's the
Well,
reason?
I don't think it's just down to us. It's the men that we've put ourselves around as well.
Around,
And
yeah.
a lot of the time.
Great, elaborate on that, please.
So, like in my personal experience, it's experiencing men that I don't add up to what they're meant to add up to. So you go through stuff at different points in your life.
Yeah.
You meet different people, they fulfill different needs, and you start to move through life. But not the men don't necessarily grow with you, or they're going on with their own passa, and they put you in their foolishness, and you have to step away from the
away from
relationship. A lot of us leave the relationships behind. And we sometimes we're successful on going on to new ones, and sometimes we're not. But I don't think it's a thing where we've just kind of let go of men. I don't know many women that have let go of
Like
good men
good men,
in
no.
any
and
other
just been like,
community,
oh, I'm in my 20s, I'm letting go.
I don't even want to get personal. I don't want to cause no drama within my personal family.
Yeah.
But I want to get personal just for a minute.
Yeah.
Easy, no?
Okay. I don't want to cause no drama. So to my
Easy
sisters,
now.
like
Disclaimer on that.
don't like. I don't want no drama. But listen,
Okay.
and tell me if this is normal. So I'm one of 6 children. Yeah, I'm the only boy. Okay, all my sisters are single. Now let me just put a disclaimer on it. That's not because some of them probably don't want a man, whatever they're gonna say, but they're all single.
Yeah.
If that was any other household, we'd be asking ourselves, why is that? Why is that? Like any other community would want the conversation.
I have an idea.
So I'm saying, even if you meet a man, you know, in your teens or your early 20s and it don't work out,
Yeah.
by your mid 20s, you should have been moving on to the next man. All right, even go past that. Even in your early 30s, you should have been finding your life partner. Why is that? Because our grandparents, most of them stayed together, and people get angry when I say that, because they say, "Oh, they put up with all this."
Truth. It is the truth, though. They stayed together, but those were the times. You got married to who you had your children for, who you first met in the 60s, and that's how they did things then.
And they worked together to build that life
They did.
together.
And I think it's because back then they had to stick together because of, coming to this country and how hard it was. Who wants to leave? Half of them didn't even have their own house for a start when they first came. Do you know what I mean? They had to build, like Michelle said, work
They
together.
didn't have family.
we
So
here.
they couldn't just let go of the relationship if they felt like it. And they couldn't just do that like how we would. As quickly as
No.
Because they needed to stay together
Yeah.
because of the environment they were growing up in. The black community just stayed together in general, just like the Asians stayed together, and the Irish weren't accepted and they stayed together. Like,
Good or bad thing?
Yeah.
do you understand where I'm coming from?
Is it a good or bad thing?
That what?
That to stay together.
I think it's a good thing.
It's a
good
thing.
thing.
They grew
So
healthy
what
family out of it,
have
but
we lost?
something's been lost
What have
along
we
the
lost?
way. Something
Because
has been
what I'm
lost.
saying is this: something's wrong. And Kevin Samuels was bringing that conversation. Something's wrong.
But it's not just the women that it's wrong with.
I'm not saying it's just the women. I think there's a lot of black women, and I'm gonna start. We're just gonna go in.
Go on.
There's a lot of black women who hate black men.
You think so?
Yeah. You know what it is? Used to
Hold on. Do you mean black women or feminists? Black women or feminists.
I'm saying there's a lot of black women who hate black men. Now look,
Oh, okay.
you two are best friends, yeah?
Yeah.
So you two are best friends. Right now you're single. So anytime you phone each other, it can be like, yo, what's the motive? Yo, we're gonna touch the road this weekend, rare.
Okay.
But we don't do that in
No,
a
I'm
way
gonna
of
break it
It's
down.
just giving you an example.
I'm gonna break it down
Okay.
because I want to get into this. You're both single. With all due respect, there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of black women I know are single. Now you, over the next few months, you phone each other. Yo, we're gonna go out for a drink. Hear what you're saying? You're on it straight away because you both know there's no motive. Now, when one of you meet a man and the other one hasn't got a man, this is what I see happen a lot. The relationship that the one who ain't got a man, her last man, what hurt her or whatever, she brings that to her friend. Yo, my man used to do this. My man, you watch out for that. So you're already playing the defensive position with the new man, teaching her to look out for negative things in this man already. Hating almost. I see a lot of that going on within the community.
So friends do have that element
lot.
of it.
I see a lot
It
of
does
it.
happen a lot. It
Like
does
you're
happen a lot.
you're with your man now, yeah, and your man might step out on you, which I'm not condoning. That's wrong. He steps out on you, and you decide to forgive him. Yeah, but now you are saying you shouldn't have took him back. He's a cheater. Yeah, this and that.
That's not our conversation.
Now you get him back. You get with a man now, and he cheats, and you're safe. It's just that you didn't have a man. There's a lot of women single for that reason.
Yeah.
Because they're listening to
they're listening to friends and birds of a feather.
It happens,
flock
and
together.
they do listen to friends. Women do listen to friends, and some friends can be really negative and jealous and tell you all types of crap. But at the same time, we're supposed to know ourselves enough. I mean, we're not like that. Yeah. We do check each other, right? But it's not on that whole like, I'm doing it because I don't want to see you with anybody. It's because I want to see if I do it with you, I want to see you with the right person. I want to see you happy, and it's because I know you that well. Do you know what I mean? I know you that well that when I see certain things, because I'm that outsider looking in, I'm just gonna tell you the real. Because if I can't tell you the real,
who is? But
then at the same time, like you were saying, those things sometimes can be seen as like, oh, it's stopping you from doing this. When it comes to men cheating, and we've both been in the scenario, it's never been you better leave him. Because we said this last week, cheating's not a deal breaker.
Ladies, you know, in relationships, one thing that I think like with us as well, as a community, we think that life's a Disney movie. It's not. Any man you get with or you get with, you're going to have problems.
Of course.
You're going to have problems.
Of course.
Like you're going to have, so if them problems get verbalized to friends and family, a lot of the friends and family are single.
This is why we
don't tell family
everything.
That's the problem, man. Definitely don't tell family.
The family thing.
No.
Keep as much to yourself.
Family
as
don't know
possible.
nothing until after the event and the person.
Because a lot of people are telling you to leave, not because they care about you, it's because they don't want you in certain positions.
So what you're saying there is what I definitely feel with family. Like I feel like when you tell family stuff,
you had an experience with that.
Yeah, I feel like I've
At least you're
experienced
honest.
it where family will say certain things, but on a level where it's just always leave. Don't bother with that. Leave it alone. Don't bring it around. It's been as bad as don't bring that person back around because I don't want to see that person again. It's been really hostile. And that's why I won't tell them anything till after the event. So I do rely on my friends for that conversation, because I definitely don't go to family for that, because I know that I'm not saying they don't have my best interests at heart, but I just know that there's just a generic answer that I'm going to
Misery
get.
loves company, man.
Sometimes it's just too uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's just a generic answer.
Now, again, both of you ladies attractive. I'm not here to, you're both attractive, yeah? If a man was to get two Asian women of the same stage in life, I'd struggle to find two that were single.
You would, because in their culture,
White as well.
Pardon?
White as well, a certain class.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're right.
But Asians do have they have that extraness of actually doing arranged marriages from when they're very, very young. But even they're struggling there in the community right now. There's a lot of women that are over 30 that are single who have left marriages
they've been uncomfortable in their marriage. Yeah.
They've been in the marriage and they've left it, and they're going through something as well in their community. It's not all strawberries.
But
and
we're the ones who carry that. It is the problem
stigma.
is the problem is heavily in our community.
It is.
And I'm saying Kevin Samuels brought that conversation to the forefront.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, is it a thing where, again, these are those questions, because the men who are watching this now, I want to speak for them. Is it a problem where expectations are too high?
In some cases, yeah.
Like,
In some cases, yeah.
Is it a problem where everyone's looking for Idris Elba? Do you know what I mean?
That's just unrealistic, though.
No. But I mean,
in terms of his money and his looks.
everyone wants the tall,
Dark,
you know.
handsome,
Everyone wants
limited.
this. Like, they think that this man's just gonna come in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and just be this perfect, no history, no kids.
Those are the women that
You know
live the
what I mean?
fairy tale land. Right? It's a combination of things, and it depends on the woman. So there are women that are like that sit there. I know people right now that are sitting there and they don't want a man that's got children already.
No
they want a man
baggage.
that's,
But have they got kids?
they haven't got kids.
No.
Okay, that's
So
So it's easier
I agree,
to go
but
into a
I agree with
situation.
that.
I always,
Yeah, but we're in when you're reaching like late 30s, going on, like the expectation of a man your own age not having any kids.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
there's
not
not many.
realistic, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
have to be realistic about what you're really
And
looking for.
monetary. Let's visit the monetary again.
Yeah.
Is a lot of women, like, I believe in building.
Yeah.
So you and your partner are supposed to build together. But I feel like a lot of women are like damsel in distress from our community. Like, yo, a man needs to come in. He needs to be able to do this. He needs to be able to do that. I remember listening to one girl who was listing everything this man had.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got this plate car. He lives here. He does this. And this girl's got nothing.
No.
Not a pot to piss in.
There's a lot of women
Nothing.
like that.
And I'm like, how are you demanding this? But even, all right, where I agree with Kevin Samuels, if you got nothing else, but you're not even
Why
bringing,
would you want?
you're not even bringing like the shallow stuff, then like looks, then you're not even bringing that because you're not Chris either. You know what I mean? Why is it that we have these high expectations in our community? What's going on?
Like I say, it depends on the woman. Like that type of woman shouldn't expect to have a man that has it all and is all set up for her to walk into that scenario and be fine. Like because
Especially
she should have her
if she's
own.
coming with children into a
Whether she's got
relationship
children
as
or
well,
not, but then you
because
have
you can't expect too much because
No.
you're supposed to be doing for yourself and your kids. So
Yeah,
if you're going to
regardless
get a
of
man,
if she's got children, she shouldn't expect it anyway
No,
because
she
she should be looking
shouldn't.
after her own.
She should be looking
But
after
then you
herself.
have the working woman who's always worked hard, being independent, and then being around men that aren't necessarily doing much for themselves either.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there and you're working around them and working hard, and then they don't want to do much. And then you're finding that you outgrow them because you're actually doing
more
way more than the man. So those type of women come out of those relationships as well, and they're looking for a man that meets their level and probably a little bit more because they know they're always doing the 90% or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're just scared of being in a relationship where they've just got a lazy man doing nothing.
Yeah.
So their expectation is just a certain view.
This is it.
And then you have women that just want high value men anyway.
Full stop.
That just go out looking at that. And it's not good. It isn't good. But at the same time, I think it just depends on the woman, the type of woman.
It does, because
it
we
is,
can sit here and we can say we know different types of women in different scenarios
that have different
that have got
expectations.
Different
of a
expectations,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And from our point of view, we don't look at the plate and what they got and what they're doing and what the job is.
Does that help though?
It helps if they're independent.
If they're
And
independent,
like if you meet somebody eye to eye and you're on the same level, it's like, okay, cool. You're out here, you're doing your stuff. Whether you're struggling or whatever, you're still out here and you're trying. That's the main thing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But like we were
Exactly.
saying, it's a lot more than that, what the person brings to the table. nobody necessarily wants a lazy man or a man that's not doing nothing.
No.
And I think if you experience that, when you go out there, you're looking for something, you want to look for something better. But maybe some women's expectations are a little bit too high.
But who's
high,
lazier though? Men or women?
Pardon?
Who's
They
lazier
both can
though?
be. You've got
Men
a
or
combination of both of them being lazy. You've
you
got the
feel?
ones that you
Yeah.
can't piss in a pot, women, and you got the same from men as well.
The only I hear what you're saying, but I feel like women can have an easier ride because, especially the society we live in now, a lot of women just cruise through on their looks, and are able to pick up these high value men.
Because some of these
And
And
then-
then,
high
and
value
then it's
men.
damaging.
But
and
like
then
you
it's
lot
damaging
said, they're the ones looking for these women that are video vixens and
on a ground
IG
level.
models.
It's damaging our community because what I'm saying is, I remember like when I was younger, and Irreplaceable came out,
Yeah.
and a lot of women were singing that song. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like it was like an empowering song for
Yeah.
black women at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking, I don't really see no white girls singing that outside of entertainment.
Yeah.
Like you see black girls singing it, like feeling it,
Yeah.
like feeling this song. I'm like, hold on a second, like Beyonce's married. See what I'm saying? Like all these like famous black singers sing about independence and not having a man. Show me one white woman who's doing that, or Asian singer that's doing that. That's saying you don't need no man. You shouldn't want no man. These men are nothing. Like when I listen to some of these female rappers and that, it's like these men are nothing. So what it does is it puts something in, not necessarily like, I'm not saying you guys,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it puts something in like young girls' head.
It is doing
That
something.
they look at like, that black man is nothing, man. Beyonce told me in my headphones, he's nothing. I don't want him. You know what I mean? He's irreplaceable. I can have another you in a minute. When in fact, Beyonce can. You
Well, you
can't.
can't, is
Yeah.
what you say. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't. So it's like, I feel like that damages us
Do
as
you
well.
feel like
Yeah.
the music is
This-
a big influence?
But this thing
on
of I don't
the
need no man.
youngers?
Yeah, like I don't need like that's a dangerous. Like it's dangerous to say
is
you don't need a
dangerous.
man. Yeah, is very dangerous because men are needed
Yeah.
in
sounds
relationships.
good, don't it?
Men are needed, even
They
if a
are.
man's screwing up a show for you. You know what I mean? Men are needed. Your dad should have raised you
And
in a
some
way.
women take it too far because when they say they don't need a man, they actually don't want the man around the children. They're not letting them see them, and it can go like really deep into the whole situation.
Yeah.
That as well.
Too
So
far.
it is a lot when women don't think they need a man, and I think it can be sometimes your elders as well telling you like after a man's messed up or they've treated you like crap, and then you do go to the elders. And they tell you, just stay on your own. You're better off on your own.
Better off on
Why are you
your own.
bothering yourself? What are you going to go and connect yourself with any man for? Just stay on your own.
But then when you look at that advice and you
But they're
think,
married.
But hold on, you're married, you're good. Like you were married and you've been through some hard times.
Yeah.
But you're still telling me to be on my own when you've gone through this, this, and this.
How
and
many
you
times
never
have you
left.
had that advice off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
elders?
Spot on, spot on, spot
They do
on.
tell us to stay on our own, and it is like a big thing. Like, why are you bothering yourself? And when you bring somebody new around, like, oh Lord, have mercy, here we go again.
Yeah.
Like for me, I would say this, and I would say, would I go to an extremely obese individual to tell me how to lose weight?
Wait.
If he ain't doing it, how can I learn it from you? So I'm saying
True.
a big problem within the community as well is that girls go to girls who ain't in that position.
Yeah.
Like you
Successful
can't
in
go.
relationships.
Yeah, like if you go to a girl who's mashed up with her man, and you're like, well, it mashed up with you.
Yeah.
So how can you tell me how to do what I'm doing and your thing mashed up?
Taking advice from the wrong
So,
person.
A lot of women are angry at their baby father. They're angry at their ex-partner.
Yeah.
And what they'll do is bring that to their friend.
But
See
you
what I
know,
mean?
True.
Some women can go to a friend who not necessarily will hate, but they might go to them for the simple fact that, you know what? She's been through this. Yeah, she's got 4 baby fathers or whatever, but she's been through this. So let me go to her because I know that maybe she can give me some advice where she can say, you know what? I've been through it. I made a mistake. How about you do this? Don't do what I did. How about you do this? And a lot of women don't do that either. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
They don't go to their friend and say, nah, don't do that, because that's what I did and look where I am.
Yeah.
What they need to do is be more empowering and say, look, I made that mistake. Do the opposite to what I did. Do you get where I'm coming
Yeah,
from?
yeah. Like,
So maybe
yeah,
that
true.
needs to happen a little bit more.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there is a lot of negativity surrounded with black women, and I feel like it doesn't help in us like striving to find that better man or whatever we're looking for out there. And I feel like we can get really stuck in a rut. And the longer you spend on your own, it's the worse it gets. because I feel like it starts to make you feel, because I think black men can really make us feel like crap sometimes as well.
Elaborate on that.
Because we watch, especially if you've had a partner, so you've got a partner, they move on quick, which is men in general.
Yeah,
They move
that
on
happens,
quick.
it happens, yeah.
You're stuck with the kids. You're trying to do the school run. They're putting up Instagrams, they're on holiday, they're enjoying the new woman, they're at meals, they're doing this. And that can build up a certain amount of like
resentment
towards the person. I'm not saying that resentment should go on to next relationships or it should affect whatever you're doing around you, but it can have an effect on your negativity or the energy you got around you. It can make you feel like, oh, you know what, what's wrong with me and what's going on with me. So I'm not sure if it's hate we have towards men, but I think there is a lot of resentment towards
that makes sense.
black men.
It is
There is a
resentment.
lot of resentment towards them, and black men sometimes are not the best with co-parenting or just the way they treat us. Sometimes maybe we feel like we're hard done by
Yeah.
a little bit.
And it's not all. We're just saying
Not
some of
all,
the choices
but the
they
majority,
make,
'cause
some of the
I
choices
don't
they're
think-
making, how they handle certain
Exactly.
situations, isn't it?
Because out of your
That's what
5
it is.
sisters, who has a positive story on the men that they were with? To say, okay, we left because it was mutual, or
To be honest, again, I don't want to get too personal,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I get what
with
you
my
mean.
sisters, it's like I haven't actually known their boyfriends like that. If you see what
Okay.
I'm saying?
yeah,
So they probably haven't found someone who they feel was to bring home, if you get what I mean. I'm not saying I met a few,
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Met a few,
yeah.
been cool guys and that. When it ends, I was like, oh, what happened there with my man or whatever? Whatever. I'm like, oh, man.
You don't know the full story.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
I'm
I'm
telling you because I
Being
never
the
tell my brother.
Being
I mean-
the brother, you don't know the full
I don't,
story.
nah, but you know, with me, I don't really want to be involved.
No,
You get what I'm saying? Like, if you like can fix it, fix it.
Mm.
If you can't, just mash up then.
Yeah,
But I'm saying that where it comes with the aggression thing is, which I'm not really a big advocate of that because I don't believe black women are aggressive.
no.
But the other day I was watching some videos of Lanny.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lanny, called shout out to Lanny, yeah. He's watching this Lanny video, yeah, and she was like doing like a documentary about sugar daddies and all that.
Okay.
And then I was watching
Oh yeah, I saw that.
you remember that thing that we reviewed? That thing like
program with the
yeah. But that program there.
yeah.
So I was watching all them programs and that. And then something said to me, yo, look at a white influencer. So I put on Molly May.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, so what's the equivalent of Molly May in our world? Is it Lanny or one of them? Because in one breath, one girl's got a man, she's on about buying yard with her man, all these big deals, right? In the next breath, one girl's doing sugar daddy this, arguing with man, constant, this man slept with me. And I'm like, we're very, very behind.
Yeah, we are.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we're very, very behind. I'm trying to look for the positive
Yeah.
stories. I'm trying to look for. There's a couple in Jamaica.
Is
that,
it?
yeah, that I've looked at.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to see like the family structure. Like it's just a lot of toxicity and yo, my baby father's this and like even like you
Yeah.
might meet a woman. But if I meet a woman today and I'm saying like, yo, how did it go with your baby father? What happened with my man?
It's always
You're always a
something.
narcissist.
Yeah.
Is this that?
But that's
In my
that's
head,
what
I'm
it
like,
is.
you'll be saying that about me in 5 years. You get me?
There is a lot of negativity that comes with black men. There's a lot, and a lot of times
Elaborate on that,
there's
please.
so many stories that you can't talk to a lot of black women that have not been through some absolute
But please elaborate, sis.
crap.
What
where,
you saying?
Where you've been treated like shit, right? And you know that you've done X, Y, Z for the person. You've tried to work on the relationship. You've given it your all, and you realize the person didn't even give a toss, like didn't even look at you on that level. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're giving them levels, and they're not even giving, because the
You the
things
same
that
level.
they've been caught doing or whatever the scenario is has put you in this place. So it's hard. You do, like I said, there's the resentment for the black men because the things that they put you through. And then when we get together as women and we talk about it collectively,
Yeah. And
it's
then we
like-
realise we've all been in the same boat. Or
And this
Have
is
you spoke to
happening.
other women though?
Yeah, of course we have.
White women and that.
Yes, because
And
obviously,
what did they say?
Said the same thing.
so they go through the same things
Yeah.
in a different way. It is in a different way.
But they do
And
go
they
through
do go
same
for the
stuff.
suffering, but I think they move on a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
agree with
I
that.
feel like the
They're not
transition
really
into a new relationship isn't as hard for them as it is for us as black
But,
women.
I mean, with white women, there's a lot more fish in the sea.
yeah,
You know what I mean? If
That's
you're a
true.
sister that don't want to date outside your race, It can be a
hard.
struggle. Yeah,
It's
it can
really
be a
hard.
struggle. I
It is
feel.
really
I hear that.
hard.
I hear that.
So I think they do, but they do go for the same stuff as
Yeah,
us.
they
They
do.
really do. Obviously,
But then their story, it's like they get over certain things. They're in real distress when they're going through it.
Yeah.
But then they get over it. They'll have a few weekends away with the girls. They'll go to Brighton or they'll go here or there.
Or go on the piss.
and then and get pissed. Next thing you know, they're in a new relationship like that. Or
Yeah.
I'm moving in with him 3 months
Yeah.
later. Hold on.
but we don't.
You know what I mean?
We
That's
don't
what
work
they
that way. Do you get what I mean? Our
We're
time frames are
different.
not like that. And then if you're with a black men's time frames are not like that either. So black men don't move fast like a white man would. They're not going to move you in after 2 weeks, and they're not going to tell you they love you in a week, and they're not going to do any. Not
And
unless
you're
they're
not gonna be-
Jamaican.
You're not going to be married in a year either.
Are you Jamaican?
No, unless they're a yardie.
Are you
innit? A
Jamaican
yardie-
though?
I'm
We are Jamaican
but
heritage.
All right,
yardie
good,
men
good,
will
good,
tell
good.
you they love you real quick, innit?
Okay. Is that by experience?
That's by experience.
Okay. Okay. Steven, talk to me, man.
Well, it all depends on it, because all right, this being going through hell with the black man, is that, do you feel that's due to him being black, or
That's
the
just men in
choice,
general.
or you think it's the choice of man?
Choice.
It's a choice of man.
I remember it's the places you meet him, man, as well. Like at the
It
minute,
is.
there's this thing about like brunches,
Yeah.
and I had to
Yeah.
break it down to like one of my people, and that I had to say, a brother who tried to church, we was out like, and a brother tried to church one of my people, and I was like, that brother's like the brother who was like a kind of halfway name brand man in Brom, like he had champagne and all that, and I said, them are the men that are at the brunches, you know.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Man like that, he's still just enjoying life. He's not in there looking for a wife.
No.
He's in there looking for something
It is the wrong place.
to keep his bed warm. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's where you gonna find a
You
husband?
can't go out in Birmingham nightlife and meet a man, not a decent man. A lot of them we keep saying are hidden. They're
Yeah.
very hidden, like, and they rarely come out in those atmospheres. You know what I mean? You don't really meet those type
the
of
good
men.
ones are taken.
The good ones are taken.
Of
A lot,
our age group as
yeah,
well.
a lot are taken, and then there's a lot that literally don't do that, because men have got to a different point as well. Like, I know women grow, but when men keep themselves to themselves, they really do keep themselves to. They're probably more disciplined than a woman sometimes.
Yes, they
When
can
they
be.
decide they don't want a relationship and they don't want a woman around them, and they're concentrating on focusing on growing in their own life, a man will stick to that. And a lot of them, especially in our day and age, they are really being true to themselves in that way. So I've seen a lot of them, and they are really disciplined compared to some of the women, because we will kind of go back on what we say. And I think one of the major problems with us is that we see a lot of red flags in the men that we do see, and we still ignore them
Yes.
Yeah.
really
We've
early on.
actually
Can you
said this
elaborate
in
on that,
in
please?
one of our
Ignore them.
episodes.
Yeah, break that down.
Last year, was it last year or the beginning
Yeah.
of this year?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
actually homed in on a Steve Harvey clip.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how women choose the wrong man. And we elaborated from that, didn't we, on that
Yeah.
episode? And we spoke about it, and we said that one of the lines from our episode was, we turn the red flags to amber.
Yeah, we
Because
do.
we want,
We revert them.
yeah, we
Want
see the red
happiness.
flags, and then we think, oh, I'll ignore that. That'll
Yeah.
be fine. That'll be fine.
We do.
Nah, it ain't fine.
Because
a
when we
few months
analyse
down
the relationship
down
at the
line-
end, we was like, I knew that from the beginning. I saw that from the beginning. My head was telling me that, but my heart was telling me this. So we ignore a lot
So
of
why
it.
do you feel you do that? Do you do that rather than
Because
being
we're
alone?
so
Try and
desperate
make it
to
work.
Make it work. Do you know what I mean?
Man.
And it's
Nah,
just as simple
I ain't got
as
time
that.
for that. Red flag, boom. Let me give you an example of a quick red flag. She don't wash her meat. Nah, this relationship ain't going nowhere, man.
Oh, okay, that was a shallow
We
one.
don't, we don't,
I wasn't expecting
Because you
that.
couldn't-
this relationship ain't going.
actually
You're not poisoning
correct
me.
that.
You know, you
correct that.
don't wash your meat. You ain't giving me salmonella or cost whatever the heck, whatever it's called, man.
But you
Nah, man.
you can turn her around and show her to wash the meat.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
you could
You
do
know what I
that.
mean?
But
That's a
something you
changeable
can
thing.
change.
You know what I
and,
mean?
you know, you can train her to do.
But if
That's
you're of a,
easily done.
yeah, true. But if you're of a certain age, so you've been going all these years and you're not washing meat, nah, man.
Then there's a lot of men with salmonella poisoning.
Probably, yeah. Enough man live a Dixie, you know. So
I don't think we've seen the effects of this yet, you know, until a lot
Later
of
on.
us start touching old age. You know, when a lot of the single women, because I've seen it with a lot of like older women who, in their, like I said earlier, they'll go through their 20s, 30s,
Yeah.
ignoring the good guy, like not to say the good guys, but the guy that's for them.
Yeah.
Then they'll get to their 50s and they gotta go to like Africa or Jamaica to find a man who they've got a kind of mind.
Yeah.
Like they've got to kind of, it's like just to have a companion. You get what I'm saying? Because not to say nothing's wrong with the brothers out there, but just to have a companionship, you have to, you see what I'm saying?
And the word companion is the right thing to say, you know, because I think it changes because you're not looking for, I don't think it even has to be like, I'm looking for my husband.
Marriage, yeah.
Or I'm looking for
It's
somebody
not even
to,
that anymore.
it
It's just we
literally
just
is
want
like-
somebody to live with
or
by
have
our
that
side
company.
and have that company, that respect, you know, and be able to share your life with.
Yeah.
Without, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to meet me at the end of the altar, as long as we know that
We're
we
on the
both
same
love
page.
each other and we both, you know,
Yeah.
together in this. That's all we want now when it gets to this point.
So why don't you just get a roommate?
But you say you want to.
No, if you just want someone there, and let's get a roommate. Just put a list up on Gumtree or something.
So it's a bit deeper than that.
One bedroom
Yeah.
to
Not-
rent.
not
and-
just a
okay.
room.
No,
Mate.
when I say live together, I mean like do things together, do everything together, grow together.
I don't think the marriage is as important.
It's not as important as.
No.
But then it's
in
a
your
lot of
20s and
people would have.
30s, though, was marriage.
Yes,
When you guys was in your 20s and 30s, was marriage something that you?
thought of and thought,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course it was.
And then when did the? I don't want to say dream because it's not a dream. When did the notion kind of set in that it may not be
It might
a
not be
marriage
for
thing?
you.
It might just be a thing where I've got a man who lives with me, or when did that type
So
of?
I went through that. I had a man that lived with me and we had a son together. So I got 7 years. We had a son together. And I came to the conclusion that that was not going anywhere. But I was in my 30s at that point. So I was in my later 30s. So at that point, I was like, okay, we're not going to get married. This isn't working. You know, he's got his idea of a relationship. I've got my idea and we're not on the same page. So at that point, like in my mind, I was like, if I'm going to leave this relationship or if I'm going to come out of this relationship, I've got to accept certain things because at this point, I don't even know if I'm even going to want to live with a man again, right? Or, you know, even go down this road. But I know that it's going to be hard from here onwards. So I've had the choice to stay. And I tried to make that work for that because I knew that time in my life was, I'm changing in life. And I know that things are going to be difficult because that was 10 years. So me coming out of that on the other side, I was like, oh my God, how the hell is it going to be out there to try and do that? But I knew I wasn't happy.
What's it like on these streets? Because I ain't been in them in a while.
Right now, it's
So I'm saying.
it's not good.
Real talk.
It's a war zone out there.
I wish I could play the voice note that one of my friends sent to me. Big woman still. When I say big woman, like,
Yeah.
like ourselves. And she said, yo, it's horrible out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Like she literally said to me, I wish I could play her voice note. She said,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Give me some examples, man.
She said it's horrible, fam.
Like
she said
what?
like things are just different. You know what I mean? Like I don't even want to really get into it like that, but she just said it's horrible.
It is.
She's tried the whole like dating apps. She's tried all of it.
Don't think nobody's honest anymore.
She said it's a lot about like sex.
Yeah.
You
it
know what I
is.
mean? And
It
then
is.
if you like, it's like about sex and like a lot of these apps and stuff like that. But she said
Yeah.
it's real horrible out there.
Yeah, it is.
But she said if she was to let go of the idea of a black man, she might.
I feel like that's what happens though. You
That's
do
what
have,
she said. That's
you
what she
kind
said.
of have to though.
And I'm not running down because
Yeah.
a lot of my brothers, you know, are single but are very good men. One right, yeah. You know what I mean? And that's by choice. I know that. But he's an all-round, and I'm not even saying because he's here.
Yeah.
He's like, I can tell already he'll be a good dad,
Yeah.
provider.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what he is.
Oh, Steven.
Big up, Steve.
No, for real.
Yeah,
it's true. No, I'm just telling the truth. You get
I
me?
hear that. I hear that.
I'm just
I hear
telling the
that.
truth, and I'm saying like, so sometimes when I hear like, there's no men out there, because I might know like 5 guys like Steven, but when I speak to them, they're kind of scared.
And you know
Do you
what?
get
I'm
what I'm saying?
realizing that. You know what?
Yeah.
I feel like men at this point, right? They've been hurt. And when a man hurts, oh my God, it's the next level. Like compared to when a woman hurts. Because somebody said it to us, a man said it to us, like, when you lot hurt, it's just like, because you lot are used to it. But it hurts for us. But when a man hurts, it really affects them. And the choices they make after that are completely different because I don't think they quite look at women the same anymore.
No.
And I don't think
Facts.
and it's so hard for a woman to even tap into some men and even get past like round 1 to the next level, it's really hard. And I think that's what it is. And that's why the sexual side is so big out there, because it's like, that's just the basics, isn't it? Like men will just be happy to do that.
Be happy to do that because they don't want to let a woman into their emotions, like
definitely not
after they've been hurt.
No.
So they're happy with just the physical.
They're not the same person. I think it changes who they are, the body of who they are.
I've met man as well, you know, because we have a thing on here, the Love is Blind crew, we call it.
Okay.
Where we're talking about like men who date outside their race.
Yeah.
But I've actually got to sit down with a couple of these men.
Yeah.
So I mean, all my kids are black still, all the women I've been with are black and that.
Yeah.
But like, these men were saying to me that like the experience they had was so bad that like
with black women.
Yeah.
Okay.
That they couldn't even go stay with.
I feel like man. I feel like
I hear you, Steve. I'm gonna break it down.
That's an excuse on both
I'm gonna
sides.
break it down.
You just wanted to, man. Just be honest.
Man have said to me like, "Yo," like one man was breaking it down to me, and it like,
yeah,
the family and the friends, and he said he was just up against it. So in the end, he said that he was at work and he found his little, you know what I mean, his white girl, and
he just wanted mashed potato and beans, man. That's it.
Hold on.
Just be honest, bro. Just be real. Just be real. Just be real, fam. You wanted bangers and mash, so you went and got bangers and mash.
A lot of men are eating that now anyway, because a lot of the morals and ethics that was in our house, in our homes growing up, ain't in them no more.
Facts.
So there's how much of a lot of these young girls anyway, if we was to really line them up, can really throw it down in the kitchen like that.
Not many,
because there's no like order like that again, like that, because the nans who was in the kitchen teaching the moms who then teach our generation, these nans are gonna they're gonna be too busy doing everything else.
True.
So let's say like when you're younger and you got your kids, and I don't know if you like got sons or not, but they might be playing football on a Sunday. Your man or your baby father, whoever, he might take them to go and play it, and now you're cooking.
Yeah.
You're the one taking them to football.
Yeah, it's true.
But I did that anyway. It's true. I took my son to football for, how long was he playing for? About 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we both did it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both did that for years. Saturday, Sunday mornings, that was our family time. Do you know what I mean? But then I'd still come home and cook.
I hear
the pots were still waiting for me when I got back. Do you know what I mean?
Things have just changed, man.
They are.
It's just changed, and I don't know if it's a good thing, because I just believe that the reason Kevin Samuels was so big, and Stephen asked the question earlier, because a lot of women wanted to know, what do I need to do? Like, it's an uncomfortable conversation. What do I need to do?
When he's telling them the cold, hard truth, it is hard to hear. It is hard to hear. And to be fair, a lot of us do need to work on ourselves. Because a lot of women do go into relationships and they've not worked on themselves and they've not given themselves that time to heal from what they've been through. So all that traumatic experience they were talking about with their friends, oh my God, it was so bad, it was this, it was that. And they took no time out to heal. And then they want to go back out straight into dating thinking that's going to solve the problem, but it makes it worse. It really doesn't solve.
And then poor Joe Bloggs
is now putting up with the problems of the last man.
There's a lot of men who, like, there's certain times, and I think I speak for a lot of men, where like, you might hear a girl talk and you're saying, you're not even talking to me. You're talking to the man you was with before.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, I didn't even do nothing. You're talking to her next man. Or like girls might be giving her next girl advice based off of what her baby father did. Like he was just an all around. And then that's how they view all men.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous thing. And I think there's a lot of older women who are going through that as well.
Yeah.
Where the man might have just bailed and now it's F all of them.
Yeah.
It's like F any black man, you know what I mean?
And sometimes that can trickle down to their kids and they're coming out with the same thing.
It's generational.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. But at the same time, I feel like having the conversation does help because in us doing the podcast, we speak to so many people and different women and we've come across it. One of the ladies was talking about how she didn't let her first baby father see the children because, there was this going on, that going on, didn't do it. But when she had the next child with another man, she went about it a different way, but it still came out to be the same outcome. But she's like, was I right for trying it a different way? I was like, yeah, you were right for trying it because you've got to give it a try in it. You can't treat every man the same. So I think we do try. We really try, but then we fall on our face, don't we? And then when we fall on our face, it's just kind of like rebuilding back to trying again is hard.
Because there's no accountability because I seen Vivica Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a big woman.
Yeah, she is.
You know what I mean?
50s now,
50s,
isn't she?
50s. And the hate that she was like saying towards this man and calling death karma.
Whoa.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
didn't
Like
hear that,
people,
you know.
like
Was
we
this
all
towards Kevin?
towards
Yeah.
Kevin.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
saying with Kevin, the only reason we're here making this podcast is
Yeah.
because of that delivery.
Yeah.
Really?
If he was
That's-
delivering it like, oh, we wouldn't be talking about he knew that have to be controversial. So when he's saying to women, yo, I kind of agree.
So
You know what I
way-
mean?
The
Like,
way
you
he's
can't-
delivering it is for us to hear it. He wants us to
He
really
wants us
hear
to-
it and
yeah,
for it to resonate and for
resonate
people
with
to
us.
really like, no, I'm really telling you what it is. So I kind of get why he delivered it in the harsh way he delivered it. But like I said, he treated us like it was just generic, like every woman was the same. Like it doesn't matter if the woman was different or they look different or it's a different, like he was telling them the same thing.
Just black women either, you know. There's a couple of videos
Spanish-
that I saw
Spanish.
with
Yeah.
Latina women
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it wasn't just black. I don't know why people are saying, "Oh, it's just black women."
It's not.
It's not. He did used to tear everybody to shreds.
Yeah. As long as you came on there and you went, then you're getting told. Like you was getting told. But it's really hard because there are flip sides. There's things that he has done that are good because he's brought something to the forefront and we're talking about it now. He's passed away and I think he's
Well,
going to
yeah,
be forever
he
spoken
will
about
be, he
in
will
that
be.
context. And there's going to be somebody else that comes along with that Kevin point of view that will step up to the plate and start talking on that level again because they've seen this now.
Continue.
So
And
it's going to
It will
continue.
continue. Somebody will step into his shoes, and that's what will happen.
And I
But-
think it's good because it's given us the narrative to have the conversations and to look in it because we would be talking about this now if
he
Kevin wasn't doing
if he
it.
was still
Exactly.
here, we
Exactly.
wouldn't. We
Do
wouldn't.
we feel like black women sometimes overreact? In terms of
Yeah.
wait, because I know you're thinking about it. In terms of, I feel like they do in under these parameters.
Are we talking about just with, like watching Kevin with them?
In
Or just
general,
in general?
in general, because that's the one group people know they can target and get a response.
Yeah.
I can go on a platform, I can jump in there and say, yo, black women are rare, 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 rare. And there's going to be a million of them in the comments. And
Yeah.
and I'm always saying this, I've had this conversation with many black queens, and I've said, when you hear something you don't like, why don't respond?
Yeah.
Like, just ignore it. I remember a couple of years back, it was the 50 Cent thing. We don't want them kind of girls. We want exotic ones. We want them foreigns. Like he's talking about a car. And I'm a certain black women were in opera. I'm like, why do you let these things rile you up? They say it for a reason.
Yeah.
This is why they say these things. Just ignore it.
It's to get a reaction.
I feel like it's
But I feel like I can only speak as an outsider looking in because I'm not a female. I feel like you should stop reacting, man.
easier
as black
said than
women.
I think it's easier said than done though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah,
It's
but
easier
I
said
agree.
than done.
We gotta stop. We gotta start responding because it's like a man could come out, yeah, like say a man who needs to get some promo, and he can make comments about black women, and they're gonna feed into it.
Yeah.
If you say the same about an Indian woman, no one cares. But when you say it about black women,
Yeah.
you know you're getting a
We
response.
do
Yeah, of
react.
course.
So a man
we
was
do
like, I don't deal
react.
with black girl because they're feisty.
Yeah.
They know they're gonna get the
Yeah.
like when that one boxer O'Hara Davis. Did you like remember that one boxer called O'Hara Davis a couple years ago? We kind of had a little beef with him still.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
The
He commented and
idiot
all
still.
sorts. But my man now come out and said, he loves white girl and that, and he was like, I don't deal with black girl, this and that, and that's the most press he's ever had. You know what I mean? More than his fight.
Because he's spoken about.
Because he
the fact
spoke
that he doesn't
about black
deal with-
women.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
black women have reacted to what he said.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously blown on social media and all sorts because of what he said. Right. So going back to Kevin now, Kevin's background was sales, isn't it? He was like a sales manager.
Yeah.
So when you think of it like that, and all his experience of having managed all these people in, big corporate companies and things like that he's done. Remember, he's got it up here. Salespeople are clever. Like they know what to say and how to say it in order to get the public to, buy and feed into them. So he knew what he was doing when he was coming on the videos and saying this, that, and the other, because at the end of the day, he knows what's going to get the clicks, the likes, the comments, all of that.
Which he's trying to do, because he's a YouTuber as well, so he's doing that, isn't it, on
That's
purpose?
what's going to make him
yeah,
money.
yeah, of course.
People know what to do to make their money. So, and I think sometimes people forget that that's where he came from. So
But he did
he's
mean
gonna
he
be
did mean what he
thinking
said,
like
so
that.
that's why we
No, he meant what he said, but
Yeah.
he knew how to say it to get the attention.
Yeah,
do you
he
know what I
did.
mean?
He did.
And I think even the likes of people like who else talks shit? Not necessarily just to women, but can be quite harsh. Then say Gordon Ramsay. Like I know, I love watching Gordon Ramsay.
Ramsay's my dog,
because
man.
he is just like I know. I used to sit there all the time and watch him on Hell's Kitchen. The risotto's hard. Fucking hell, blah blah blah. Get out my fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? And he talked like he spoke to people like crap in the kitchen, made them feel like, oh my god, I can't cook. Just like how Kevin was speaking to these women and making them feel a certain way because he's saying the truth. He pick up the meat raw. Dash it at them, leave my kitchen. That was Gordon.
Yeah.
He was harsh as well. No, it wasn't just aimed at women. So it's different to Kevin, but I'm just giving an example. Do you know what I mean? Like people do that and they get the clicks, they get the likes, they get the press, they get all of that. Do you know what I mean? The attention from...
And the women were upset because they came off them lives and they had to really think about
about it.
Is he actually right?
You know what it is though? Sometimes I think we need like realists around us because, like I said on the tweet, like if you gain weight, you can get somebody who says like, nah, it's not bad. Nah, you ain't getting no weight. These don't fit me. They must have shrunk in the wash. Or you get what I'm saying? You got that kind of person, but you got a next kind of person who'll just say, you've gained weight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no, that you've gained weight. You're eating too much crap. You're not working out. You've gained weight. Now there's two kind of people.
Yeah.
One who's gonna say, I hate that person. They're rude. I'm never gonna chat to them again. Or a next person who sorts the problem out, if you want to see it as a problem, and then says, that person made me do that.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, that's how I look at it. I'm not saying all his comments, because I've heard he said something about child abuse, and I ain't heard them comments.
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean? But as far as, but again, though, even with child abuse, like a lot of it, again, where we're coming from, like beatings and stuff was normal. That's abuse in today's world. But when we was growing up, a man would get beat, a child would get beaten.
That was just normal.
Man, I remember people used to get beaten.
Yes.
Like, and I don't think a lot of the mans who weren't in gangs and stuff were the ones who got beaten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a fact. A lot of the men who went on to be successful were the ones who your mum might have smacked your bum a few times. Like, you knew, because I said it on one of the podcasts, like, you're supposed to fear your parents.
Yeah.
And that is true because you're supposed to fear them as an authority figure.
Of course.
If you go to work and you're late, you know there's somebody
Watching
who's going to say, yo, you're late, you know. Well, go on. If you're late again 2 more times, you're out of here.
Yeah.
That's what a parent is. Like, you're an authority figure when needed.
Yeah.
So respect has to be enforced when needed. But like within our community, we're kind of getting, starting to live like the indigenous. And when we used to go to school and stuff, we'd see the indigenous telling their mom to F off and that. And our mum would be laughing like, yo, you could never say that. You'll be dead.
Yeah.
It's true.
But now it's like, we're now that.
Yeah.
Like, we're now that. That's our new normal. So
Society, innit?
it's only hurting us now because it's like, I said before, the answers are with the successful elders.
Yeah.
You go to a big woman who's been married 50 years. Yo, how did you like make it work? This, that, and the third. Now people are saying she put up with this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some bad.
There is, definitely.
It's not always going to be perfect.
No.
See what I mean?
Me too.
But that narrative's there and it don't help sometimes because that's what, like how you were saying earlier about friends saying certain things to their other friends.
Yeah.
It's sometimes they sell that perfection, like, oh, it's not perfect, so you should just leave it, or you shouldn't be messing with it because it's not working in your direction, like da-da-da-da-da. So then you're both sitting there back single again, back to square one and trying the whole thing again.
And some women just want that. They just want you to join that
Bit of girls club.
that bit of girls club. They want you to be in it. So it's like,
it
you meet a
happens.
little
Where
man
is it
now.
leading you though to be in that so-called girls'
We're
club?
clocking up years, you know.
Misery loves company, innit?
Well, more for the fool who's sitting there listening to any friend telling them that, because people should know themselves. Like that, it only comes down to you because you're mashing up your own household and you're mashing up whatever relationship you've got with that man or whatever. So only you know. And to be fair, not everybody talks everything. Friends say stuff, right? But they don't speak 100% truth sometimes. They don't necessarily speak up for what they're doing wrong in the situation.
There you go.
As well.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So people don't get the full view.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the time you have to read between the lines in it, and you know your friend, you know whatever, and you know some of the, like even with family members when they say certain things, you know what they're like because you've grown up with them. You're like, come on now, that didn't just start the way you said that.
You see what I'm saying?
You get what I mean? So what happened there? But they don't necessarily tell your side in it. So maybe sometimes they're not feeding them the right information as well. So when they're being told, oh, this is what you should do, it's because they're not being fed the right information in the first place. You know what I mean?
So what's the solution, ladies? Let's we want to. What's the solution? Because I think the solution is this. I think this is what I've been saying for years.
Can't believe you got a solution, but yeah,
know.
come on.
I got a
That's what I'm
solution. I got a solution. I think.
thinking.
All right. A lot of people don't like the caste system in it, like as far as what the Asians do.
Yeah.
A lot of them
It's
like.
a good thing.
I think that can be a good thing. I
It
think
can be.
if you and your partner have a son, and me and my partner have a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're coming from, your beliefs. I know my beliefs. We try. I'm not saying force them,
No.
but we say like that one's the same age group. When they're of age, maybe let them meet.
Link up.
Do you know what I'm saying? Let them link up instead of like you chance it to go out there. We know where that person's coming from.
Yeah.
So we know the morals and fact. I think that's one
Because
thing.
that's essentially the problem. You know, a lot of people don't know where people are coming from, where
Of
they've
course.
been,
No.
and that's why when they try to go into something, it's not
Like,
working.
a lot of people don't understand, you know, like when you just get like sometimes you might just see a one man who there's no backstory. You gotta know it's like when you buy a vehicle,
them
you
ones.
need to know when you buy a vehicle, you need to know the mileage.
How many owners?
Yeah,
You know
you
what I mean?
do.
Was that
of
ever in a
course.
write-off before?
Because
What happened?
friends do say that to you. Do you know anybody you can set me up with?
Yeah.
But then because you know the friend, you're like, no, sir, because I don't want to hear that noise in my head later on when you lot are not getting on. But it's true. That's the best way to try and do it, because I feel like it works for them, because they do have, like, for the unsuccessful stories they have in the Asian community, a lot of them are married or they've experienced marriage, whereas a lot of black women haven't.
Yeah.
So like they have a better, something's working for them in that community.
Yeah.
And I think, like how you said it, from young, like if you know the morals of another family and you can say, okay, then well, my child's good for yours and yours is good. When they come of age, maybe we can. Then I think it could possibly work, because to be fair, you know your kids, don't you? So you probably would match them with the right person. More so maybe than the Asian community, because we're a bit different. Like the way we work, we kind of know, we go off feeling, we go off vibes as well. And it's a bit more than just money.
Yes.
So I feel like we could successfully match our kids.
So
So you might have a solution.
I believe that's the
You
solution.
might have a solution.
I believe it's a solution.
But
Yeah.
how,
But
how
getting
would
that to
something like
just
that
doing that
start?
alone would be really hard.
You know, it's very difficult because I believe that a lot of narratives, there's no accountability being within our community anymore.
No.
Some of the stuff I'm hearing is so ridiculous. See what I'm saying? Like, there's no accountability. To be quite fair, you don't have actually, like, we've mainly agreed with everything we said. There's no argument with nothing you've said.
Because we've lived and we've been through certain things, and we're quite aware of what it is and what it isn't. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we can see the man's perspective, like, and it's easiest for us to, you know, we do see it, because at the end of the day, there's only male and female. And most times we have a lot of guy friends. So you're hearing them talk and whatever, and you see it from the other side. Do you get what I mean? So when they're moaning
about a certain woman, and you're like,
and then you can be like, and she did this,
It does
and she was
open your
going on like
eyes.
that. So you get it, like you understand it. So there isn't that. This is what it should be. It shouldn't be the arguing thing. It's these conversations that are
Need to
needed
happen.
between
and people taking more
accountability. It's true, because black women do react. We do react to a lot of stuff, and not necessarily all the time the reaction has to be in that moment. Like, yeah, you can get on the phone to your friend and be like, oh my God, you see the but you know, like how you were saying, like they're reacting to certain posts, or they're feeding into it.
Let it go, man.
Yeah, sometimes they should. Sometimes
go like
we should
Frozen,
let
man.
it go. But sometimes the argument has to be there, because it sometimes it hurts you as well when you hear a black man saying, oh, you know, the black woman's doing this and she's doing that. So they will react to it, because they're just trying to make the point that we're not like that either.
But remember, this is something historically that was, you know, it was exercised, like slavery and that,
Yeah.
for women to hate men. You know what I mean? And for men to hate women. A lot of that was like was done. A lot of tactics were done back in them days. And I think that, you know, when you go like a lot of white men go to like the Far East and Asia to meet women, because of the submissiveness
Yes.
of that part of the world. You got a woman, there's not going to be too much, like some big belly white man, you know what I mean? He's got dodo. He can go over there and he can meet a wife. You get what I'm saying? Because he knows, she ain't going to really, there's not going to really be that headache. You get what I'm saying? Like, she's just going to be thankful, my man, they're going to fall in love eventually. But like with us, I feel like there's too much, like, I can do my own thing. I don't need, you know what I mean? I can do bad by myself. But the thing is, like, is that really strong though? Because I don't want that for my daughter. I don't want my daughter struggling to do everything. I want her to have her man.
No, it's true.
You get me,
It's
boss?
true.
Facts.
It's
Because you
true.
shouldn't have to be stepping in to do what he should be doing.
There you go.
No, it's true. And it happens often. But we do carry a strength where we feel like, yeah, you know what, let's just get on with it. Because when you're experiencing being let down a lot, I don't feel like women want to delve into letting anybody help them out in that way anymore. Do you know what I mean?
It's
kinda
like, let me
hard.
just do it myself because I don't want to have to rely on anybody.
Or have it taken
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Or had somebody come back and tell me, oh, I shouldn't have done this and that.
Yeah.
When you hear that narrative over and over again, it makes you like take on this
Who was it?
persona.
You know when the baby, that rapper, the baby.
Yeah.
You know when him and his girl had some big thing on IG. What's that woman's name? You know the Real, is it called? And they got like them Spanish girls.
Yeah.
The girl from Sisters on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
the
you know
real.
there's like a black woman on there. That's done on purpose, by the way. When they put like one big fat black woman.
Of course. We know that, yeah.
So that black woman, all these girls were like, if you go back and watch that clip, all these other women were like talking but not really saying too much because the message. But she just jumped on, oh, you need to have your own things and your own yard, and even if you live with your man, have your own yard outside of that. And I'm like, how dangerous is that?
Yeah.
And this woman goes out to the white man on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, she
So
does.
she ain't,
does
she ain't
I
doing
realise
that. Yeah, but she ain't doing that. But she's telling young black girls to do that. This is what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
This is where the problem comes
We need
in.
our security though. That's probably why.
In terms of, elaborate on that.
When you're saying, oh, you have to have your own yard alongside, like people do that for security purposes, just in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Men do it and women do it.
Yeah.
You know, and we have to like think that way because you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Especially if you've got children. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have your security, man.
True, but should those messages really be coming from someone who's not doing the best that they can for the community? So you're trying to preach to the community, but when you go home, it's a spaghetti hoops on toast thing. Like, are you really the voice of the people?
I think it's quite dangerous, you know.
It is.
I tell you why I think it's dangerous, because we're preparing to fail.
Yeah, you're preparing to fail.
You know-
But if you meet somebody and you've both already got your own properties then, but, you know, you want to live together, then why not get somewhere together but still keep your own? Is that bad in your eyes?
For me, I don't see how it would work, because then there's going to be finances coming out of the main house. That's going to affect something. That's going to,
Well,
if you got it like
bought
that.
a property together,
Yeah.
you're moving together, but then, you know, you bought these properties prior, but you both come into the relationship with it. If you are renting them out, for example,
Yeah.
and then the money you're making from the properties, both of you are combining it, putting it in the household you're living together.
That's
But
different.
you've still got that.
That's
You've
different.
still got
Yeah,
that there,
that's
so
different.
that if anything,
Joint enterprise,
you know
man.
that you can give your tenant 3 months notice, right? My relationship's broke up. I'm going back to my yard. In a way, I still think that that's okay, because you've still got your place to go if you need to, should things mash up. But you're
I'ma
not
show you
you're
something.
not preparing though for it,
Yeah.
because you already had it before.
I'm going to show you something though. When I was growing up, I used to hear that a lot. Men, older men to me would always say, always have your yard on the side.
Is that always
I
say
know.
that?
I always, but you know what? Let me show you something.
Woman, they stay at their woman's
But
for
let me show you
2-3 nights a
something.
week, but they've got their
Them,
place still.
them men are, none of them are men who, none of them men that said that to me are men who are in a situation I'd want to be in now. That's a fact. Because it was always, a lot of men could have his flat on the side because can bring your other thing there as well.
Yeah, of course.
You end up falling in love with your other thing now, you know what I mean? Now it's easier to get out from the main house.
Yeah.
Sometimes we set up these, because it's like, you might be having a family house with your main woman and you go out on a work night.
Yeah.
And the girls are saying, yo, I want it, yo, take me back wherever.
Oh,
now,
I got
you
the
ain't got
keys.
nowhere. You ain't got nowhere to take that. You got that little flat on the side. Yo, let's go.
Yeah.
Wolf of
That
Wall
can
Street
happen,
business.
which
Yeah.
is why some.
I think it does happen a lot, though.
Yeah, it does.
It happens
It
a lot.
does. That's why sometimes women raise their eyebrows at men when they say, "Oh, you know, yeah, we can be in a relationship, but I'm not getting rid of this and I'm not getting rid of that." And you know, we can raise our eyebrows.
Is it really a
little bit
relationship?
and
But,
think,
I don't think it is. It really isn't, because if you lot are not planning to be together, what's the point?
That's what I'm saying. Is it a preparation to fail?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
From
Because
that point of view, yeah.
what I'm saying is a lot of that's promoted to our women. You know, independent woman and every aspect of it. You don't need no man for nothing. And
But we still want it though.
you're talking that into existence, because when you say I don't need no man for nothing and I can do bad by myself, eventually the man just says, go on then. You don't need do that. I'll go somewhere where I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll go somewhere where somebody does say, yo, I like having a man. You know what I mean? I like having you here. You know, you mean something. A lot of women simply are going to lose their man because you don't tell him.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I appreciate, and I'm saying man should do that too.
Yeah.
But just like, because it's a lot of like, I don't need no man. I've got one, but I don't really need him though. See what I mean? I don't need no man. Or maybe a man does something nice for you. Now your friends vex. Boy, she's got this car, but yeah, a man, if it weren't for a man, she wouldn't have it. Yeah, she lives here, but if it weren't for a man, she wouldn't have. There's a lot of that goes on. See what I'm saying? Or am I?
No.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, but that's their business. All that don't.
It don't happen on your watch, like with you.
No, it probably does happen, but it wouldn't bother me at all. It's like whatever, because end of the day,
good,
you get what I mean.
yeah,
It wouldn't touch me in that way, because people do that on any level. It don't matter what you do.
You know what it could do though, sis? It puts it can give people like a complex, because it's like, let's say, all right. So when I passed my test, my parents bought me a car.
Yeah.
And a lot of people used to say, like, say a next man had a car that he brought, but because it was like a present,
you never worked for yours.
Yeah, like, if it wasn't for his parents, he wouldn't have that. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, I started feeling that way.
Really?
As a kid, not now. I don't give a damn now, but as a kid, I started feeling that way. Like,
So that made you feel like overprivileged.
Yeah, like I used to probably try and hide things that I would get from my parents, because it would be like I didn't want people to like discredit that. So it's like with women, if your friends are constantly saying, yo, she wouldn't, they're chatting you and where eventually the woman's gonna
tell them stuff.
And I think that is dangerous.
Yeah.
See what I mean? But
I think it's not necessarily a bad thing if you don't tell them everything though either, because like you said, that's an opportunity for the bite on your whole situation.
Exactly.
So I don't think it's that. I think sometimes that is the problem. I think we tell our friends too much.
Yeah.
And when we're in a relationship, like relationship problems should stay within the household. They say it when you're married, innit? When you're married, you should keep stuff within your marriage. But I think it should be the same for relationships. You should keep stuff in your house. And it goes for men too, because men are chat. Men are chat.
One thing
men are chat.
We've realised that men do talk just as much as women.
Yeah, they do. If not more.
No matter what
If not
people
more.
say, I'm sorry, you guys chat.
Yeah. It's funny
Man
because I'm seeing eyes there, yeah. I'm not seeing any kind of reaction. You're like, oh, okay.
Nah, man, we chat. I mean, if there's a madness,
man talk to each other. That's about it.
Man will chat to each other. Like if there's a madness that goes on, you might need to chat to your own bedroom and say, you know what she did. You know what she done. You know what she done over there. And your bedroom might say,
it's good
easy fam over there.
But don't you think there's a new generation of men that have these friends, these so-called friends that are girls, that they sit down and are just everything, the whole business, and she knows everything in your whole relationship.
It depends what's going on. Like if a man comes to me, which a lot of men do, and says, yo, this happened, I'm not just gonna say what I would do. I'll be like, I ain't nothing. Or if I'm not really gonna dog out a man's girl, you know what I mean? I might say, boy, is she okay? Is everything all right? What's happening with her? You know what I mean? It could be something like
conversations like that.
So remember, it's seasons, isn't it? Like life's about seasons. Like we could be really happy today, and then tomorrow you're not so happy.
No.
So you not being so happy, you could do something that reflects that. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a man might. I don't know. I don't even want to say it. Go ahead. Go on.
Say it.
'Cause I don't want to like reinforce like stereotypical views. So all right. So what you're saying then? The solution, because we don't seem to.
I think you came up with a good solution then, where you're
Okay.
saying about arranged marriages. I feel like that could be a good solution to it.
Yeah.
I feel like
something that a trend. How is that trend going to start to be embedded into the community? How is it going to
Two
start?
families have to kick it off like a game of FIFA.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Not sure if it can be
Takes
done
two
or
to
people
tango,
would
man.
do it, but that's true. I feel like the conversations are needed. I feel like women need to be a bit more honest and
They
accountable.
do, definitely.
For
And men as well. Because I think that when they do something that can mash up a relationship, you know, they want to say, oh, it was because the woman did this. She drove me to cheat, or she drove me to, you know. So sometimes I think a man has to be accountable as well.
Also, we have to just all be accountable
do.
for our behaviour and know where we're going wrong in certain things. I think it does take a lot of healing and talking and working on yourself.
Yeah.
Because once you work on yourself, whether your friends are telling you this, whether your mother or whoever's telling you anything, it won't affect you because you know what you're looking for, you know what you need, and you know when somebody's energy or vibe is for you. Right, so you know what you need to work on or where you need to go with that person, and you shouldn't need advice on that really.
Need people to
so I
tell
think
you.
it's sometimes maybe it's just like a quick thing to do is just to get advice on every little situation. So maybe people need to stop doing that and sometimes let it marinate within themselves. Kind of think about where they need to go direction wise.
Analyze their situation and look at direction.
It's true. It's true.
Very good. I've enjoyed this conversation.
Have
But a different
you?
way, yeah, as it has. I've enjoyed this conversation. So, all right, ladies. Have you got any final thoughts? We've been going nearly an hour and a half, so
Really?
yeah, time flies.
Really?
Yeah.
Excited.
You got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Oh,
I think it's just the same thing. Work on yourselves.
yeah.
Work on yourselves. I know Kevin said a lot of stuff about women, but there was some of it that was true on certain women. There was some of it that was true, and there's some of it that was just too harsh. And, you know, take from it what you can, because I feel like it's important to have different opinions on
Different
stuff.
views.
You can't just listen to the same point of view and be happy with that and be like, yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take the rough with the smooth in it.
Because some people water stuff down, don't
Yeah,
they?
they
Water
do.
shit down to make you feel better. They think,
So-
I don't want to say this because I might hurt her feelings. I
Yeah.
might make her cry. Oh my God. But you need those real people. Like you were saying, Stephen, earlier on, you need people like yourself sometimes to just give it the
Give it a
real.
real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's what he said.
And
Essentially
you
he's doing.
know that you've got like somebody real who can give you both sides sometimes. Michelle will be really real with me sometimes, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I needed that. Do you get what I mean?
Do you tell each other everything? Are you that kind of best friend?
we do go to each other for
So even
stuff.
if we don't tell each other everything in the moments of when it's happening, it will always come out in the end anyway, because you everything like comes all together as a collective.
'Cause I was reading your bio when you was coming on the show. What does it say? Best friends over 20 years or something?
Yeah.
man?
yeah,
went
but
to
we
school
went to school
together.
together.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yeah.
super tight then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, we've had times. We've had time apart. Like we came out of school. I think we had 3 years when we never saw each other for a bit, and we came out together. But yeah, we've been friends throughout. You know, the kids have grown up together.
Nice.
And it is nice. But like I said, because we know each other that well, I know I don't care where you want to go, what friend you got, where you want to go. Not one of them can give them the advice that I will give her, because I've known her for that long.
Yeah.
So they can say
And you
whatever
got
they
her
want.
best interest at
I've
heart.
got
innit?
best interest at heart, but I know her. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So she can tell me a scenario in a few seconds, and I can be like, no, wrong, right, whatever, yes,
Yeah, I hear
this,
that.
that, because I know her that well, and I'm not trying to please the soul. If you get what I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like I
yeah.
want the best for you.
Yeah.
All right.
that's
Very,
good, man.
very good conversation.
Exactly the same as well. I think it is that just knowing each other, and when we go away from situations,
Yeah.
we can take whatever from each other, but
Yeah.
then know ourselves as well and think, okay, she's just told me something that I kind of forgot about myself, or I need to just revisit and sit down and think, okay, this is what I need
Because
to
you do forget, but
You
when
do
you've known
forget
somebody that
certain
long,
things.
they remember for you. Sometimes, like I'm like, yeah, okay, you've been here before, like, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is one of those ones.
right.
But yeah, last
Okay.
thoughts. Yeah, it's about like knowing yourself.
Okay, so where can the people find you?
Oh, so Instagram at grapevine.podcast.
Yep.
And the
YouTube.
link tree to our bio, link tree is in our bio. So it bring up all the episodes that we've done. YouTube,
Yeah.
the Grapevine podcast.
Yeah.
Add yourselves to the channel, subscribe, like, comment, etc.
And then we're on Hot 92
on
every
radio.
Tuesday from 6 till 8. So tune into that show if you get a chance
Is that
as well.
music or
So a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
music,
We do
topical
music
information.
Okay.
So
you
we touch
know.
on celebrity news. So like how obviously Kevin's passed, we touched on that.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about, what else did we talk about last night? The BAFTAs. We talked about Dave Chappelle getting
boxed off
staged,
the
getting
stage.
boxed. So we do a little bit of celebrity news. Then
it's a topic.
we'll have a topic, and then people will text in and give us their views as well. And we interact like that with the public.
And what's
so
the next
drive
show
time,
about?
it's nice.
What's the next show about then?
So
Whatever happens over the
Whatever
weekend.
happens.
in
When
the
you recording tomorrow, yeah? Who was I talking to? I don't know.
No,
yeah,
well,
yes.
both of us.
Okay, what is
yeah.
doing tomorrow then?
So we just got somebody coming to the studio, just going to do a music interview. So,
Music, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, so that should be nice.
Okay, nice. Well, thank you for coming on to the Express
Thank you for
Truth.
having us,
Thank
guys.
you.
It was
You're
nice
very
to meet
welcome.
the Express Truth guys and tell us
speak
the
our
truth,
truth.
the whole truth.
Definitely,
Nothing but the
definitely.
truth.
All right, people, it's the Express Truth Show, making Thursdays great again. We gone, man.